Hello and welcome
Welcome.
to Shade in the City. I'm your girl Treese.
It snows.
And today, y'all, we are here to do none other, y'all see the background, than our fave and y'all's as well. It's the 90-Day Fiancé season 11. It's episode 3. And this one is called Between Love and Madness. Don't know where they got that from, but
I have no idea either.
we've
Good
had
luck.
stranger titles. So but yeah, y'all, we appreciate you being here with us. All of our shades, all of our new shade squad, because y'all be listening, y'all be subscribing, and I appreciate it, even if it's only just because y'all doing it because I asked you to, because it's my birthday. Okay. Not today, but I'm saying, in preparation. Okay. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. And because it's late and I gotta go to bed. But yeah, let's jump right into it and let's get shady. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start off this episode with none other than Mark and Mina. Okay. Now we see that they have woken up after their first night, and so they decide to give her son Clayton a call. This made me so sad. She asked Clayton if he seems happy to talk to his mother, but he does seem sad. And he basically says that he was upset when she left. He let her know that he was upset because he feels like it's going to be a long time before he sees his mother again. So Mina basically said in confessional she has really no clue when this boy's passport is going to go through. And again, that's why I would have kept my ass over there where I was. So he wants to know why it's taking so long, and she basically lets him know that her and Mark are taking care of it.
You know what? I actually don't think it was a bad idea that she did that she went without him because the little girl Maria's young,
Hmm.
but um Clayton's older. Clayton's
Right.
been in school. He's been out and about, and she can actually see because she's not even really like in the area for herself.
Okay.
And she
True.
can actually see if it's a good fit for her son. So if when she goes back, they may not even need to use the passport. And she might be like, you know what, it's better, we're better off here and just stay in Paris and not even interrupt his life at all.
Oh, okay. Nels has a very different perspective. I like it. I like where you're going. So basically she tells Mark that Tracy is cool, which is her homegirl. She keeps saying, that's her homegirl. Because I was like, why Mark keep calling her friend? And that's her
I
sister.
She said friend and he said friend and she said sister.
But then when they put it up on screen, they said that's her friend. So I was like, look, it is what it is. Okay. So but basically that's not Clayton's mama. So she brings up their wedding date, and Mark lets her know that basically, and she's like, maybe I should just go back. I can't get married without my son. And he's like, yeah, no, that's not possible. So he's not really sure what to do or what he can do to help. And Mina makes it clear that she's not trying to get married without her son being there. And I was like, I can understand. And like Nell said, she's still trying to get acclimated herself to this new world. So then we see her try to get up and make breakfast for the baby and Mark. And she gets on him for not having a high chair for Maria because we know he didn't do what he was supposed to do before she
At
got
all.
there at
No.
all. So they decide to go to the local convenience store. And on the way, he's sharing stories about bear sightings, which freak Mina out, okay? Because obviously she's not used to seeing bears walking around Paris. So Mina goes on the hunt for lamb and mushrooms,
This
fresh mushrooms.
this grocery shopping in a convenience store seems so familiar to me.
Don't do that.
I I literally said, if this ain't like trees trying to grocery shop in CVS.
Or 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven
What's
might.
or yeah, it was 7-Eleven too.
It was so funny that you say that because I literally ran out to the store today and I didn't feel like going to the grocery store. So I just went, spent a whole bunch of money at CVS. But anyway, so I did. I ain't gonna hold you. So who knew trash bags could be so expensive? But anyway,
They
so
expensive in the store.
I
I can
know.
only imagine what they are, and you probably ain't getting nothing at CVS.
Well, actually, you know what though? I was pleasantly surprised. CVS happened to have their brand, like their Total Home or whatever, their brand of trash bags, and it was
Mhm.
like $10. Because yeah, if I would have went to the grocery store, it might have been $9.
But
It
I
might
mean,
have
for
been.
how many?
Oh, I ain't look at all that. That's
See,
not. I don't.
that's what I mean. It's not that okay. That's how you decide the value, not by the price, because it could be $10 for like 5 or 7 bags.
As
At the
long as they
grocery,
get me through the night, this was a quick fix. This was a quick fix. I
I
just
see.
wasn't going to the grocery.
Had you gone to the store, it'd have been $10 for 40 or 50.
Quick fix. I'm a convenience person. I'm like Mark. We like convenience, okay?
But
So
you gonna go right back there a week later. That ain't
don't do
convenient.
that. You stupid. So then they go, well, then at that point I would have went to the actual grocery store. So then they go to another store,
Fine.
whatever. Then they go to another store to find a high chair for Maria. It's a furniture store. I get where he was going, and I guess what was available to him. Um, However, this place doesn't have what they need either.
I would have
And
been aggravated that we're doing dummy missions.
I would too. And so Mina seems to be very unhappy and says that she doesn't think 90 days is enough time for her and her children to feel comfortable. And I said, well, now one thing I did think was cute was when they were on their way there and she sees the sign. It's like, because I guess they had driven into
I said something about that
and
too.
she said, Massachusetts.
She said Massachusetts wrong, just like Latrice do.
Don't do that. She said Massachusetts.
Now you say it. Say it the way you say it.
Massachusetts.
See?
No, no.
Massachusetts.
I look, she said Massachusetts. I said, girl, I hear you.
Look,
So then
Trace, is that you? Is
you
that you,
stupid.
Trace?
Don't do that. No, I only my middle name is French, okay? So anyway, Mark, Mina, and Maria are having a gas station pasta with their gas station wine that Maria doesn't really seem to be a fan of. And so they get into the hot tub later on the night after he puts the baby to bed and he tells her he can't wait to take her down south. So she could be with the rest of the family and develop a relationship with Jordan as her stepmom. And so Mark says that he is worried about how Mina is going to fit into his family. And then Mina says that basically she feels as if her and Jordan are in competition for his heart. So Mark then decides to drop on her that, Jordan does have her concerns. And, she's like, are me and Jordan enemies? I don't understand. And so he basically explains that she had an issue with Mina not really spending time with them at Maria's baby shower and whatnot. And he tells her that, Jordan really doesn't think he needs any more kids and is kind of questioning whether he's making the right decision and if she's there for the right reasons. And why did he say that? This makes Mina emotional. She start crying. She feels like Jordan is judging her. And then,
And she fake. Because you
Mhm.
was smiling all up in my face, dancing with me, taking pictures
Right,
with me. And she was like, why didn't you say something then?
right. And so, like Nell said, she said it was all good
About a
about a
week
month
ago.
ago. Right. And when they was in Paris and they was snapping pictures and like she said, she wishes that she would have just spoke up to her directly. So she tells him now that she feels like Jordan is a snake. And she said that Mark listens to Jordan and he needs to tell her to stay in her place. So he reiterates that Jordan is not a snake.
He
Um,
look, he pushed her hand right there. He said, no, 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 no. Don't compare my baby to no snake.
okay.
I said,
And
oh, okay, Mark.
right. And basically he said she just want to make sure that he's not making a mistake. Mina said, all right, I got your mistake. And she get out that hot tub and she said, I'm going to bed and you
He
better
said,
not
sit
get in it.
your ass on the couch. Don't
I don't
mistake
think
it.
she care. I don't
She
think
said,
she care if he slept in the dining chair as long as he didn't get in that bed with her.
she said, don't make the mistake and sleep your ass in this bed, is what she said.
I, hey, she said, I ain't got no games to play. Oh God. All right.
Amani, Matt, and Annie.
Amani.
I'm done. I ain't from where she from. Okay. So I thought it was super cute. Amani was playing nail salon with her daughters, and clearly they bought their money because she said, "I am not accepting hugs and kisses as payment. Run me my money, ma'am.
Oh,
Run me my money."
I
Okay.
must have missed that part. I probably
Yeah, it
wasn't
was
paying
it was
attention.
it was given very much TJ.
Mm,
Hey, what you owe? Okay.
okay.
Um,
You're in the rears.
exactly. You're in arrears. So her and her husband are traveling to Mexico for 2 weeks to go see their girlfriend Annie. She said it's hard to leave her
Ani.
kids. So no, actually, Annie said Annie. This girl,
Amani
Amani.
says Ani.
She said, guess what? That's like if somebody else called you Latress. I'm gonna pronounce it the way you pronounce it. Okay.
Well, you can't help it
And
if you have an accent. If you just pronounce it
I
latress.
don't, but I don't have an accent,
Oh well.
but I ain't got one. And Annie said Annie, so I'm gonna say Annie. Okay. So yeah, she said that it's hard to leave her kids for so long, but she really wants this to work out and you know, so they could be a throuple all the time. So she gotta see what it's like. Okay. Now she said the first half of the trip they'll be spending some time in Ensenada. Well, they'll have some romantic time, and then the second part of the trip they'll be going to Guadalajara, where Annie's family's from. Where she grew up, and she wants to see how she acts around her family and learn more about her. Then Amani gets emotional because she said that she feels like, a piece of crap, leaving her kids, but it looks like this is on the way to the airport though, so it didn't make her turn around at all.
Right.
Her husband basically
She was
explained
like,
that
why can't we just be normal parents and just have sex with each other?
it's a choice, ma'am.
I I was honestly, I really think that's when I stopped paying attention. Because I was like, is she really in the car breaking down over a choice that she's making?
Yeah, it's a choice. I mean, you know, just because you have a desire doesn't mean that you act on it. It's a choice. It's a choice, just like love is a choice. Okay,
Mhm.
so yeah, her husband basically explained that when they leave to go leave the US to go see Annie, they have a hole in their heart because they're missing their kids. And then when they come back and leave Annie, they have a hole in their heart because they miss Annie. But they said the K1 visa is a huge commitment, so they gotta, feel confident in their decision to bring her over. Then she mentioned that they do like their one-on-one times, and maybe they should set some boundaries, or some rules to navigate that. She knows she can be possessive, and she asked him to keep her in the loop, if they have conversations without her, or, she wants to know if his feelings for her might be getting a little stronger. Ma'am, you're not built for this life.
I was just thinking that. I
You're
literally was like, why are, first of all, it's a choice, as we said, but if you are this possessive and let's just call a thing, jealous, why are you in this situation?
like, I know I'm possessive.
Right.
I
But I
know
don't think you would put yourself in a
I
situation.
I would never. And if you suggest
Okay.
it, it's gonna be a problem.
You don't even want nobody to wish your man a happy birthday. How the hell they going? Right.
You talking about that damn song I sent you,
I'm
ain't you?
just saying.
Why you happy my man was born?
She's that type of crazy, y'all.
I am though. I am. I'll admit it. See, I know me. At least I know me.
At least you own it. At least you own it.
Okay. She needs to get to know herself. Okay. And no, you ain't built for this life. So they crossed over into Tijuana. Apparently it's festival. It's time for a festival for Day of the Dead. And she said she doesn't really know much about it. You're gonna bring a whole Mexican into your family, and you didn't even do research.
Right.
Anyways, whatever. She said she associates it with Halloween, and her husband said, "No, Dodo. Okay, it is to remember the day of your loved ones that passed." Weren't we in Puerto? We were when we We learned about it in Puerto Rico, didn't we? I mean, well, I guess the meaning of it.
Right.
So then we meet Annie. She said she's a stripper,
Hey,
and that
and
is
this
her
is her
life.
life. Hey, 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 hey. She got kids. Well, she ain't a wife. Okay.
Not yet, but she will be.
Not yet. She will be.
She will be.
Well,
But
no,
yeah,
no, she's not. I don't think she's gonna make it because Amani is crazy as hell.
poor thing, poor thing. Well, she's a stripper in Tijuana, and then she let her friend know, her friend Liz know that, look, girl, I'm a pimp for real. Okay, I'm a stripper now. I'm a pimp for real. I got a boyfriend and I got a girlfriend. Okay, and then she explained that it's not really a swinger situation. It's deeper than that because, girl, guess what I got them doing? They got to get divorced to
Mm.
marry me, to bring me over.
Don't you feel special?
Period. Okay. Annie said, after shaking her ass for all these hours, okay, she'd be tired as hell. And she said she got to go home to her babies, but she said she'll do anything for her babies. Okay. She said she got 3 kids. Her oldest is 20. She got an 11-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter named Antonella, and I believe that's the only one that lives with her.
Mm.
And see, I think we only from the other side only heard about Antonella,
Okay.
from the soon to be divorced couple.
Okay.
Um, she said she got pregnant when she was 16, and while she was pregnant, daddy left. He ran out on her, so she said she had to make money. She started working in a strip club. Okay, she said plenty of people, come into the strip club. So damn, how old is she? She been doing this since she was 16.
Mm.
Um, so she
They
said that,
said it's hard to get out the club and get a regular job.
I guess with the quick, easy money,
I was gonna say fast money. It's hard to leave that
I
and
could
go
understand.
work and clock in and clock out. Yeah.
You know what? I could understand.
Hmm.
I could understand. You ain't really got no boss either. Um, well, unless you're doing other things for a piece of change.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, she said that plenty of people come to the strip club, but when she saw them, okay, he was a 10 and she was 1,000. All right. She said they are a beautiful couple. Um, then she said, they accept her for who she is, and what she does. And they take care of her. And I didn't know what she meant by that. Because I think they got a little coin.
Oh,
And she,
you would have to. I mean, that's like they remind me of the Seeking Sister Wives couple. I forgot Derek and whatever the redhead chick is, Danielle and his Garrett and Danielle. That's who they remind me of. And they was chasing that girl in Mexico, trying to marry her, and then she played them, and yeah, and told him that she never really had no intentions of, because they was getting ready to get divorced to marry her. He was trying to get her pregnant. That's why I said they on the wrong show.
she said she never had that in a past relationship, but she said she's never been with a couple, and they've been together for 10 years, and it's possible down the line they can get tired of her ass, okay, and things like that, make her nervous. So, she has reason, I guess, to feel some type of way as well. The only one that hasn't expressed that they nervous in any type of way is Matt. He just
Because Matt is getting the best of both worlds.
exactly.
Okay. Oh, well. All right. Let's get into good old Greg and Joan. So Joan has finally, as we know, made it from Uganda. And so he's picking her up. At the moment, he's preparing, making her a meal for her as she arrives. His mom wants to know if he's put any more thought into sleeping in separate rooms. And Greg knows that, they'll lack privacy, but basically they got to deal with it in the meantime because he ain't got no money to do nothing else. That's just what it is. So he runs off to the airport to pick her up. He has a loaf of bread to give her when she arrives.
Yeah, he baked her a sourdough loaf.
And I'm a bread fan. But well, you know what? I can't even hold you. Especially with all the Golden Corrals closing
Right
right
now,
now.
that's the only bread I'm eating. That's like the healthiest bread.
Okay, this is not about you. So, so I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a bread lover, y'all. If a man was sweet enough to find a Golden Corral that was still open and bought me a dozen rolls and brought me some honey butter, that
What do you
might
mean?
really.
What do you mean that's still open?
I don't know. No, go. That most of them are closing.
The
I
one
don't.
out here is open.
It's probably the only one left. There's no more. Um, but yeah. So I'm just saying, if you want to find a way to my heart, it's Golden Corral rolls with some honey butter. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I might add that to your
That
birthday list.
that would warm my heart. That does it all. From Nails can tell you, I can sit and eat a dozen rolls by myself. I can actually do 2 dozen, but at this point, I'm better in life, and I'm not trying to do that. But I absolutely can do 2 dozen by myself and just sit and watch shows. Nels can tell you, I will do it. Anyway, let's get off bread. But clearly, I love it. That's why I'm, so talkative about it.
And I'm
Anyway,
not gonna
so she notices that Greg has lost some weight since they last saw each other. So kudos to Greg. She's happy that they can finally be together in the same country. He's excited because he knows he has to start taking things a little bit more seriously. Then, as she's taking everything in on the drive back to Greg's mom's house or whatever, he tells her that he has several people who want to meet her. She's nervous about meeting his mother, Lucille. He decides to drop the bomb that his mom has reservations about them being intimate in their home and wants to know how she feels about sleeping in a separate room. And she said, I ain't come all the way from Uganda and leave my good old bed that I had to myself and my good job to sleep in a separate room. And I was with her. And so Greg suggests that maybe they just leave the door open. Okay. While they home during the day. Okay. And so Joan says that, she's sad. She starts to get a lot of people was crying
I
this
thought it was
episode.
hilarious when she was like, "You talk to your parents about intimacy?"
Right. And basically she gets emotional because she says she wasn't expecting that after all she's given up. And like I said, we know she's a director of a nonprofit in Ghana. And she left that all behind to come to America to be with this man, who is as I like to call him, a Toys R Us kid. He doesn't want to grow up. Okay. So she tells him that she's sad about the
He
whole
wants to,
situation.
he just don't know how.
First thing is applying for the job and then accepting it.
I was about to say he applied for it. Sound like he
And then
got
accepting it. And then actually clocking in and clocking out. Okay. So Greg gives Joan the food that he made before he left, and she's complaining about the fries that he made her are a little salty and it's really not for her. But I thought it was cute. She ate his little chicken wrap, it looked like, and I think she was just hungry. So they arrive at his mother's home, and Joan. I was about to say something real new. I'm gonna be quiet. So they arrive at his mother's home, and Joan is still feeling sad about the whole separate room situation. She finally gets to meet Lucille and Daisy. All right. So his mom comments on how she is, how tiny she is, but says basically she won't be that way for long. Lucille's first impression is that she's shy and a bit clingy. Ma'am, she don't know
I
nobody.
think she's uncomfortable.
Right. But I started to look at Lucille, you giving Lucille's bad names, okay? But unfortunately, I know a Lucille that probably would have said the same thing. So they declined to have dinner, and Lucille wants to have a conversation, to put everything on the table and make sure they they know it's not just y'all living here,
After that
okay?
long ass fight that girl done just had.
Huh?
After that
After
long
that
ass
long,
fight.
right? So he shows her the room, and it looks terrible. And her first question is why you have a 2017 calendar still on your wall. And I ain't even gonna hold you, unless you would have told me, just because I hate clutter. I absolutely hate clutter. Like, I literally feel bad for anyone that lives in a space with me. And if I think it's trash, guess what happens? And stuff like that. Calendars from it's 2025. Calendars from that long ago being on the wall, I would have walked out the room. You don't even know what day it is, for real. You don't. I'm done with you. And then you got this up here just for Go buy a picture of a dog, a poster or something. Why you got this calendar up here? I'm just done. Oh, I don't know. Put it in a drawer. It just really irritated me, and I would have thrown it away. So then, she has an issue with Daisy the dog because Daisy keeps jumping on the bed, and she's like, "Yeah, we don't do this in Uganda. These fuckers sleep,
We
or
don't
they."
all do that here either.
I don't mind dogs on the bed.
Just some other people do it.
I guess I'm one of the others. I don't
You're
mind.
you're
I
you're,
don't mind dogs
you're
on
definitely
beds. It doesn't
you're
doesn't
definitely one of
bother
the
me. You know, they're your extended family. Okay. But
You're a
Jones
pet. You're an
but Joan
angel.
Jones says that for them, their dogs are outside. Okay. Um, so then basically Joan says having to live in his mother's home and by her rules, it basically may take her a little bit more time to get comfortable. And then when he goes downtown, as she's taking a shower, he leaves her upstairs and he goes to talk to his mom, and she's like, "Well, she should be coming down soon, right? She ain't done taking a shower." I was like, "Are you really monitoring her shower time?" That was really not cute, Lucille. Okay.
Well, I mean, considering, and I'm not saying it's fair to her, but considering this man pays no bills.
She want to make sure she lay down the law. I get it. I get it. And so
No, she
basically,
want to make sure she ain't running up the water bill too much.
oh, well, I forgot about that. Damn, good point. So Greg tries to explain that he brought up sleeping in separate rooms, and Joan was upset by it. He tells her that she's fearful of the dark and is nervous about and was nervous about meeting her. And he starts to get emotional about how happy he is that she's finally there, and just wanting to be able to hold her, and feels like he may not be good enough for her.
I felt
And
like
this,
that was a manipulation tactic. It looked
I
like he
do
was
too.
like
I
crying,
do.
like,
I
look,
do
look,
too.
look, is it working? Is it working now?
It was definitely, now that was given a TJ cry. So he doesn't want her to regret the sacrifices that she's made to be there, and so basically he lets the mom know that, or Lucille know that they're gonna leave the door open, okay, to be respectful. And finally she agrees to it because, again, as Nell said, his manipulation tactic worked. And she even admits that she ain't never seen Greg break down like that, and knows that he's happy that she's there, but hopes that Joan feels the same because it's usually better that way. And I said, well, we can tell Lucille's gonna be a troublemaker. I feel bad for poor Joan. Oh baby. Okay. Stevie.
Stevi and Maddie. So next morning, they get up. She's like, "What you want to do now that we in New Orleans?" He said he want to go to the French Quarter. Homeboy did a little research, apparently. Okay. But before they went out, she did address the comment that he made the night before about him going back home. He said, you know what? It crossed his mind. And he said it without thinking about it. Okay. And then he apologized for hurting her feelings. And he said, right now, you're more important than my parents, and I chose you. And she told him that it hurts because he basically is saying that it could possibly change, and he'd be willing to go back and take that risk. And he's like, I mean, what do you want me to say? I do miss my parents. Okay. And she said, initially she felt like it was a lot of pressure, basically attempting to fill the voids of his family. So she felt like, it's a lot of pressure for her. So yeah, she took him out later that day. He got some beignets. He said from the first bite, it was like, boom.
Can I
Okay.
be honest with you?
What?
I don't know if maybe because they went to Cafe Du Monde
No, it's because
or
of where he's from. They just don't got that, girl.
what?
It's
No,
because of where he's from. They just
no,
don't got it.
no, I'm not talking about that. I think that it looked better. It looked, from what I saw when we went to, with the times that I've been in New Orleans, they're like, and this is no disrespect to none of y'all in New Orleans. Like I said, maybe I didn't go to the right spot, but I feel like everywhere we went, they were kind of like hard. And the way he bit into his and it looked soft, like donutish, like he could actually chew it. I was like, or funnel cakeish. I was like, yes, that's what I thought I was gonna get when I
Girl,
went to New Orleans. And I felt like
he don't
ours
live
was
that
all
far from there. She probably know the right spots, the right times.
right. I was gonna say, I feel like because his looked just, when I was looking at it, I was like, mine didn't look like that when I went.
Look,
I almost broke a tooth trying to bite into my beignet. What you talking about?
look, he said, I wish I could send some of this back home and let my family try it. He said, I hope other American food don't taste like this. Otherwise, I'm gonna gain some weight. It does, though. It's a lot of sugar, a lot of everything. You definitely gonna gain some weight, sir. Then he sees a mannequin with lingerie on. He was like, I would never see that in my country, not even in a picture. Um, she said watching Maddie walk around New Orleans is like watching a kid in Disneyland overstimulated. And you know what? That's exactly what it was giving. He said it feels weird to see people singing and dancing in the street because in Iran, you can get arrested for that. And he said he can feel the freedom. So they saw a guy walking a dog on a leash. She said, yeah, we can't even, you don't even do that. Okay. Can't even do that. And he said that he feels like everything has changed. Then while he was interviewing, he said that, he had to be careful about how he used his words. And they tried to tell him, oh, you're an American now. You can speak freely. He said, yeah, I'm not because my family's still there.
Okay,
Okay.
right.
What I'm not about to do is put my family in danger. I say, you better. We
No,
they,
I actually,
they're
I said,
telling you what you can and can't do, but they don't know nothing.
right, right. No, I was actually like, good call. He's smart. He's like, I don't care. I'm here, but they not.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get into none other than Sarper and Shekinah. So Shekinah really got on my nerves this episode. Shekinah and Sarper are at the pool with the family. And as Sarper is in the pool with the little cousin, Fusan and Shekinah are having a conversation about, the K1. And, Fusan admits that his parents are having a hard time with the news that he's leaving. And Shekinah's like, yeah, I feel bad. And, I don't want him to hold it against me. And she lets her know the family does have their doubts and, don't like the fact that Sarper will be over there alone. So she brings up their previous arguments and basically how she's had to leave the house. And so she's like, so what do you plan to do once Sarper is over there in your house? And so then Shekinah says, well, I know I have plenty of friends that would, open their doors to him
If
and,
I kicked his ass out.
right, basically, and they would remain mutual. And this makes Fusan pause. Okay, pause for the cause. She feels like Shekinah will start to treat Sarper like a visitor rather than her partner.
Be
Okay,
in your place.
right. So she basically asked her if she can handle it when Sarper starts to feel like he doesn't have control. And Shekinah is worried that if he feels too out of control, that he just may sabotage their relationship. So then as we see them leaving the summer house or whatever they got going on with the family, they're headed back to Istanbul to Sarper's apartment. And they talk about how hard a visit it was because they know they're leaving soon and everybody's sad. And so, Sarper says he's hurt going to America where he only knows Shekinah and not being able to come back to Turkey when he wants. And when she asks how he's doing on the way back, he says that, he's a little confused. And then Shekinah goes on to say that she thinks that he's overly dramatic and it seems as if he's attached at the hip with his parents as a grown man.
And
I didn't like that at all. That's why I said I was over Shekinah.
what was landed for me, boo? Because what's the problem?
And I love when Sarper tried. I see what for once he tried
Sarper
to talk to
handled
her.
this amazing. He handled that amazing because really, anybody else could have definitely flipped out easy. I don't know what it seemed like she was trying to sabotage that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Am I tripping? It was like, we're doing good. I just came and talked to my parents about us leaving,
Right.
and we're supposed to be leaving. And now, really, I'm trying to start an argument with you.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it gave. That's why I was like, why are you? That's why I said I was irritated with her because I was like, why are you doing this? Like the fact that, and I love when Sarper was like, okay, but think about it in a perspective of your daughter. And she was like, well, I raised my daughter to be independent, clearly, because she's off in boarding school where you don't could give a damn.
Exactly.
Not judging anybody that sends their kids to boarding school. I'm just saying.
But you saw in the confessional what he said. He said, my parents will support me no matter what. And basically, look at your parents.
And that's another good point.
You're in
That's
tears
because you
because your family won't support you. So Why would I want to take any advice from you or compare my family and the way we, are together to you and your family?
Well, to me, I think it raises a bigger red flag because one, you're already making him come over here. He doesn't know anyone else but you. You don't even have a relationship with your like they had brought up when they first started talking about this. You
Mhm.
don't even have a relationship with your family. And just because, to Sarper's point, just because your family's jacked up and don't want nothing to do with you, based off your decisions or being with me or whatever the case may be, now you're trying to isolate me in the
Mhm.
same way. And yeah, that I just think, I don't know, it gets very toxic. It gets very toxic.
Girl,
um
it always get very toxic.
Right. So basically they go get back to his apartment and he talks about how much he's gonna miss it. And then she's like, "Oh, just get over it." Like, and she's just ready to move on. I don't know.
You know
She
she
just seemed.
well, she was mad. She doesn't like the apartment because that's where he smashed all the girls, and that's why he thought it was funny.
No, I get what it was, but I don't know. To me, she just seemed very insensitive to someone. I definitely feel like if it was the other way around and he was like, "No, I'm not leaving Turkey. And in order for us to be together, you got to be here." And she had to leave her daughter and her family, everyone in the US, to come be with him permanently. She would
Mhm.
absolutely feel away. And I just felt like she was really kind of an asshole. Just say
Mhm.
what it is. Um, but Sarper is hopeful everything's gonna work out, and so we see them getting ready to leave. His parents come to pick them up, take them to the airport. She brings up before they leave the subject of her daughter Sophie and how she doesn't want things to go like they did when her sister, I think it was Shariah or something like that, visited. So she lets him know that Sophie already has a bad impression of him from her family, and basically she's not going to marry someone her daughter doesn't like. Now here's the problem, Shekinah, and I don't know how things work and visas work and visitations and whatever. You're moving this man to America, but yet you're concerned about what your daughter thinks about him now. I don't know, make like, I'm with Sarper on this one. Now you're concerned. I Sarper is better than me. I honestly wouldn't have got on that plane. But anyway, and so he sees it as a threat and says basically if she doesn't like him, he'll just come back. It'll be a tour. What he's basically, it'll be a little vacation for
And
him.
then she got upset about that, but you
Right.
just told me.
Right. And he said he can't do any extra. He is who he is. He's an asshole and he's cute. You know what I mean? That's all I got for you. I'm an asshole and I'm cute. So, and basically she tells him to be less of an asshole and more cute. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments, tell me what you thought. But I just thought that Shekinah was just really insensitive and inconsiderate. And I just really didn't see it for her this episode. Not, I mean, y'all know I really don't see it for it no way. But this, look, I said I thought I liked them last week. I think I still might be okay with Sarper, but I definitely am back to not liking her. And really don't want to see them. So yeah, he's just hopeful him making all his sacrifices are worth it. And yeah, so that's them two, bringing that craziness over here to the US. So yeah, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments, like I said, and let us know what you think. But if you have not already, please make sure that you have went ahead and hit that like button.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys are subscribed.
and you hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the Blue Sky, TikTok, IG, and the Facebook. And for all of those that asked, I did drop my Amazon wish list on the community board, so you guys can go find that posted. And if you feel it in your heart to give something, I obviously will appreciate it. But at the end of the day, like I said, what matters most to me and to us is your continuous love and support of the channel. So I want to thank you for that. And yeah, we will catch you. I don't know if we're gonna do anything tomorrow. I gotta think about it. I mean, I'll catch y'all with the Beyond the Gates recaps. But I guess we might hold off until Thursday for the birthday live. So we'll catch y'all on Thursday. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed and bye
Go
bye.
ahead. Bye bye.